I start by wetting everything down with just a lot of medium and white paint. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to keep this thing unified, and I'm not really so worried about colors as I am just getting it wet and giving myself a ground that I'm working back into. It started out very dry, just get it all wet, put all that paint down. And in this part coming up here, I'm going to start blocking in my lights. And because I wetted it down, you can see that I'm able to adjust edges and the colors blend in nicely. It's a really nice thing to work into. You can really see it here when I put this dark in. Too warm, but because it's wet, it blends in. So for this next part, what I thought I would do is I'm going to let you in on a little thing called my palette, which is not that pretty, but I think it's important to share for what we're doing. So I paint on a white background with glass on top of it, and I'll try to explain that as I go forward here. Clockwise in this picture, this is how I do things. I have my raw umber, which would be my earth tones, starting on the lower left, and then I gradually move up through my warms, going to my cools, once again going clockwise here. For my darks, I use raw umber, and for my lights, I use titanium white, and I tint between those. For medium, I like to use walnut oil. I don't use any other kind of solvent. For me, it's just walnut oil in all of my painting. And I always wear rubber gloves. You're going to see this in my demos. I don't know if this really matters. There's debate on that, but I feel like if you're using something that says cadmium and titanium, it's not a bad idea. Getting back into the painting here, really what I'm doing is I've got a nice glaze going on top of this, and I'm basically just trying to unify everything and smooth my edges where needed. So once again, because there's just kind of a unified glaze, you see that when I put a white into it, it takes on the character of the color that's underneath it, and everything is kind of starting to become a unified shape. As I get to the final here, you're really going to see this tone that I have start to work for me quite a bit. So watch what I do with this eye right here. That's very, very red. But as I mix on the canvas, you see I'm just kind of smoothing it out, and it actually kind of starts to work out. So one of the things about having a glaze going underneath that I find very useful is, in a sense, I don't have to be quite as accurate with the color as I put it down. The glaze that's already in place will mix with the paint that I put on and actually unify that color for me. So it's really helping me out in that regard. As the final stage enters here, I'm going to be focusing quite a bit on the background here and using that to refine the shape. So even when I'm touching up something like the eye right there, I'm going to be thinking about the background. And here I go. I'm going to start knocking in the background here, and I'm flattening that out. And also working with the glaze really helps with this as well, because I can just put in a little bit of tone and spread it out with my brush. And you're seeing me do quite a bit of that. I'm using the flat side of the brush, putting down some tone, and then blending it on the canvas. At this point now, I really am starting to refine this thing quite a bit, and you can see where that glaze ends. You can see the glare of it in this image here, and it looks a lot more unified where the glaze is. And as I've been talking about the whole time, really just painting into it and allowing the glaze to do its work and help unify the color is a really critical thing. I don't always glaze. Sometimes I'll just do straight up alla prima, but the glazing is oftentimes a second pass thing that I do that I find to be really, really helpful. I also find that glazing gives a different look too. It really gives a complexity to the work when you have a nice painting underneath and then you glaze on top of it. It allows the colors to do unpredictable things. And in addition to all the stuff I've talked about unifying and using it to help unify the shapes and the colors, it also just gives it a nice look. Following this, I'm going to do a quick little demo of the hand here because we focused a lot on the head, but I wanted to just show how I apply this to the hand as well. So in this case, I've wetted it down and I'm just using big, big shapes. And glaze is really good for that as well too. It's good for just coming in and getting out of your details and just smoothing everything out as I've done right there and using it just to help wrap the whole thing up. Anyway, I hope that you found this really helpful. We're going to wrap up here with just a little more smoothing things out, working on the side of my flat brush. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about is I'll just show you the painting real quick, the end of it. And you can see I just unified all the colors. It's flat where it needs to be flat. And then I've got areas where it needs to be brushy, and I do that as well. Okay, well, that's about it. So hopefully you get a little sense for ways that I can work into a wet painting. It helps unify the colors, all that kind of stuff that I talked about in the beginning. So thank you so much for sharing this time with me, and I hope it helps your painting. See you next time.